Good afternoon. It's August 24th, year 2001. I'm Mayo Livingston, and this afternoon, Tom Bush and I, on behalf of the Southwest Georgia Regional Library, are interviewing Pete Miller on his experiences in World War II. Pete, tell us when you joined the Army, and did you volunteer?
On December 3rd, 42, I volunteered, and then I called active duty on June the 15th of 43.
What, were you in college then? I mean,
Yeah.
Did you have a desire to join? You enlisted. You wasn't drafted, or
No,
and you wanted to join the Army.
that age, no.
Well, but you wasn't called to duty until another. Where were you on December the 7th? Were you in
D.C. Presbyterian College.
No, you were in college when
Yeah.
the war broke out.
Yeah.
Well, after you joined, came on active duty in 1943, where'd you go?
Well, I was inducted at Camp Croft in McPherson in Atlanta, and shipped out to Camp Croft in South Carolina. And we trained there. And then the 71st Division was out of Colorado, and they were experimenting with mules to bring the equipment and so forth up the mountains, and that just didn't work out. So they shipped them back down to Fort Benning, trying to build it up as an infantry division. And then I was sent back to Fort Benning to join the 71st in the Cannon Company. That's 105 house on close support of the infantry.
Well, is that when you were assigned to the 66th Regiment, which was part of the
That's
71st?
correct. Yeah.
And you were trained in artillery, but not long range. It was in close support.
Yeah, close support of
And
foot soldier.
it was a regular cannon.
Yeah.
When did you and you went overseas? You went from Fort Benning to
Camp Kilmer, New Jersey, and then we left there on January 26th of 45, and we loaded on, and we're not very popular with the ship people and the sailors because it was a small banana boat, and we were about 10 or 12 high in bunks. And they'd fasten the helmets on the side of the bunk, so if they got sick, they'd upchug in the helmet. But some guy would always miss the helmet there. You'd line up a couple of hours ahead of time and get chow. And the table was hung on chains. It had a rail around it. Well, food was always turning over in it. A person was upchugging it. So I just I couldn't go back in there. It's hot and steamy. So I lived off malt and milk tablets for 13 days.
Well, they had to give you combat rations at that time?
No.
So you didn't have anything like K rations or anything like that?
No.
You had to eat the junk they gave you stuff.
Yeah. Then it took 13 days to go across. And there was a big convoy. There was 50, 60 ships. And they pulled into England and let John Eisenhower off. And that caused quite a flurry. And half the people said, boss man's son getting off. And I said, I'm glad he's getting out of here. Because he'd be a prize for a lot of guys get hurt trying to protect him.
Did y'all know he was on there?
No.
Okay.
And then we stayed at the cigarette camp there. There was Camp Lucky Strike and Old Gold, and that was what they're named and all.
That was the name of the camp?
Yeah. And the mud, and this is not exaggerating, it was at least a foot deep, just pure mud. And we had tents, and had 5, 6 tent bunks around the tent. And kept a little fire going, had times to keep the fire going. And like that froze up. I've never eaten an egg in my life till I got overseas, and we didn't have anything to eat. I learned to eat eggs.
Well, did you guys know what was going on in Europe at that time? That was in January.
Yeah.
I mean, the Battle of the Bulge was over.
Yeah.
You guys had heard about that?
Yeah.
Okay, this was in England, though. You were still in England.
No, we played Le Havre, France.
All right. And when you came over, was the whole regiment on this one
No,
ship?
it was, 2-3 ships.
Oh, no.
And we had to get our equipment, our trucks and our bags and everything. It's about 15,000 guys in a division. It's a lot of freight.
Well, how about your cannons? Your weapons?
What they were issued to us.
Oh, after you got to Le Havre. And you unloaded at Le Havre, and that's when you got on the, tell us how you came from Le Havre on.
Well, after they got everything together, and then we moved to, on down France there on the 40 and 8 cars. That's 40 men and 8 horses. Fathers or grandfathers rode in them in 18.
That's a railroad car.
Yeah. And then that took us to Nancy, France. Then we were outside of Nancy just a little ways, had Permislands, I believe it was, Turnberg, and no, it was Permislands. And it was real comical though. We were lined up, this is March 12th, I believe it was. We were lined up. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, bright, beautiful day. 2 planes come over. We were so smart. We said, oh, those P-47s, those are our planes. They flew over to the west, and they finally, they turned back, and they straight us hard.
Go ahead.
Then half the guys jump off the truck and get under a truckload of ammunition. One guy goes out and gets behind a 4-inch tree. Another one jumps in a foxhole that's full of water. Another jumps on top of it. He said, oh, God, I'm hit. Medic. He said, get down, you fool, here it comes again. Well, I laid in a rut. But that smartened everybody up.
Well, did anybody get hurt?
No, not in our intermediate outfit.
How did the Germans get those planes? What did they have?
They captured them Battle of the Bulge.
Did they have, was it marked?
Yeah, the U.S. plane, yeah, all the United States.
What the Markings were, American Markings?
Yeah.
When they started shooting at you, that was your first official baptism of fire.
That's right.
Well, that was around the 1st of March or something like
12th
that.
March.
12th. You moved from there on up into Germany. That was
Yeah,
right.
we stayed there for a week or so, I don't know, a few days there. And then we moved out and the Siegfried line was right past us. And so they had to go through that. They bombed it and shot it and they just cut a path through it. And you'd be surprised what they can do with it. You get enough bombs there and you blow it away.
But you all didn't get in combat down crossing the river on the Siegfried line, or did you?
No. We didn't.
I mean,
Some of our companies did, yeah.
Mostly you were covering a lot of real estate there from when you land, from the time you landed in Le Havre until you crossed. That's when you crossed the Rhine River.
Yeah, we went up next to Ludwigshafen, Mannheim, across there. And went above there a little ways and then crossed it. And that's just south of Remagen Bridge here.
But they had a new bridge up then by then, and they were. When you say we, you mean the whole division?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. But this is a pontoon bridge you went across on.
How about your gasoline supply? Were you pretty well kept up with gas by?
That's, Patton did a tremendous job with supplies. We had black truck drivers, Red Ball Express. And if you got in your way, you just run over, we forgot you.
We have interviewed a guy that drove one of those trucks. I mean, he was in the red van. But some of them, when they got hit, they didn't get hit but one time. They blew up on me.
Yeah, but they were great.
But they kept you, the guys in the Red Ball Express kept you in supplies of gas.
That's right.
Well, okay, were you in combat then?
Yeah.
Did you actually fire? I mean, did you started firing your cannon?
Oh,
You had a cannon.
Oh, yes, yes.
Wow.
We did that all the way up the line.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
That was what.
But you mentioned the tanks, and most of the tanks were that you saw black guys, African Americans in the tanks. And
That was later on, I joined the Third Army.
okay, you were not in the Third Army at that time.
No, it was our 7th, I believe it was.
Well, who are you fighting against? It looked to me like by then, all the Germans were surrendering, or this was in March, the war wasn't going to last much longer.
Yeah, no, it was several 100,000 still out there, and they were fanatical. Then he brought in the Hitler Jugend, and they were the worst of all.
That was the youth you mentioned.
Yeah.
The young kids.
And these black tankmen there, now they were great, but the kids shot at them with a BB gun. They'd pull up 2 or 3 tanks to that house and blow it down, then drive over it and say, now try to shoot somebody. And but they used up so much ammunition, then orders came down, they couldn't shoot the big gun until they got permission. They could shoot the 30 caliber machine gun. But you got out of that way. They liked us and we liked them.
But you were still there, the Germans were putting up a fight, right?
Yes, yes.
But you were going from,
We were past
Nuremberg, which is
and
right.
they were still fighting in Nuremberg.
Now, they told you, or they didn't tell you, and you didn't realize it later, they were really trying to keep the SS from moving into southern Germany.
Yes, that's right. They didn't know. We weren't privy to that information.
But you didn't fight any SS troops then?
No, not later on.
But you were past Nuremberg?
Yeah.
Going east?
We were in one little town we had old trucks. Our truck, I think, went through North Africa. And we had a Detroit truck driver, taxi driver, was our driver. And he was always working on the truck. And he just toughened me and his big arm. And so the outfit already pulled out, and we were about 10 minutes behind him. And he pulled down, and we were going through a little town, 40, 50 miles an hour. And we got down to a crossroads, and there was a Jeep parked in the way. And he stuck his head out. Well, he said, you have to let me get out of here, I'll run over you. And looked up, it was Patton stood up in the Jeep.
Patton?
Yeah, the Patton. He saluted like this. And, oh hell, he's going to court-martial shoot us all. And we got away from him there.
But Patton didn't stop you. I mean,
No, he liked that.
Well, when did you start taking the prisoners that you mentioned? I think you mentioned
that was right at the end of the war.
I mean, the war was over or about?
Yeah. Well, one little town there, a lot of Frenchmen there, and they was jabbering and jumping and all, and about some SS down in the woods. And so Stacy from Bainbridge, Alabama, we went down there to see what they're talking about. And so we flushed out 3 SS. I said, well, what are we going to do with them now? And I ain't going to shoot them yet. And so we give it to the French. The Frenchman was saying, shoot them, shoot them, shoot them. He said, No, we don't do that. And, so we go to the SS, they just beat them to death, I imagine.
Well, when did, somebody shot one of the prisoners' fingers off,
That was the time.
You want to tell us about that?
That was just a mistake.
Well, he didn't run, no.
No,
I mean,
no, he had his hands up, and he kept dropping his hands down low, and that was leather jacket on. And they mean folks. And, so I told him to raise his hand, so he got peeled across his face with a rifle. And, so his hand shot up, but the others had his hands up, and just clipped his finger off, just spun. But they didn't let the hands down anymore.
Well, these were SS troops, Chairman.
Yeah.
I think the saddest thing is what you told me was so many of the Russians that you all captured. You want to tell us about that?
That was after the war, and it was
We may be getting ahead of ourselves, but go ahead.
hundreds of Poles and Russian soldiers that had been captured and run away also. And we put them under guard. That was orders from headquarters, and not let them out. And they were put on trains under guard, locked up, and sent back to Russia. And they kept telling us they're going to shoot us. We go to Siberia and all. Well, we were completely ignorant on Russia, and they were thinking, no, we thought it was ridiculous. They didn't want to go back to their country, but sent them back.
Probably a lot of them did, Pete. I mean,
I'd say 99% they were wiped out, eliminated. And, well, another cute story of that is had a lot of the Hungarian army, and their officers had more gold on it than a Hollywood production on they had horses and all. They rode up to this general rode up to our colonel, not six colonels, another colonel, and complaining about wanting to talk to the general. So the colonel, so he got down off his horse and says, "We don't have enough meat, and we want you to get us some meat." The colonel just listened to him very calmly, pulled his pistol out, shot the horse, and says, "Your argument is not valid." Turned around and walked off. No more trouble then.
well, these were Hungarians now, but you all, how many people, you told me you used some figure of how many Russian prisoners, you all must have found a lot of
I don't know, it was 1,000,
Hundred.
no. Just our outfit, it's 500,000.
Yeah. Well, did you ever see any Russian soldiers themselves?
Never.
But you got,
Across the river there.
oh, yeah. Which river was it, you remember?
Ian's River, I believe
That's it.
Ian's
Yeah,
River.
all right. But your regiment got further east
That's
than
right.
any other.
We were past Berlin in the south.
Yeah.
We were the furthest east of any Allied outfit.
And you fired the last shot in the
I did, but I
know.
first.
You fired the last, your regiment fired the last shot in Europe.
Yeah.
And was that in May of 1940?
1st of May.
And then it was over pretty soon.
Yeah.
How long did you stay in? You stayed on in?
No, it was on a point system, and so they were sending home as fast as they could. And then we came back to Augsburg, Germany, and then we was stationed down at Garmisch-Partenkirchen, and that was nice. And then we went back to Le Havre and came home. I believe it was April of '46. We came home, arrived 9 days later in New York.
Well, you mentioned too, because you gave me that little book on the concentration camp that you all did liberate. You said you
Yeah.
wasn't there, but you did see a lot of the inmates.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. I mean, yeah, American people just can't believe something like that happened. And, I mean, it was dead, rotten, and people just laying out in the woods there. And, I mean, it's stinking. You could smell it miles before you got to it. All right, so I was not in this outfit now. I was in the 71st Division. Yeah. And they went into town and got every man, woman, and child.
German.
The Germans there. The Americans fixed bayonets, lined them up, and them out. The kid was 3 years old and 95 years old. They marched them out there and made them walk through it and told them and helped bury them. And they'd faint and bayonet would revive them. And that was just, you can't believe it. Just, and the ones that was alive, they told us, do not give them anything to eat because they'd gobble it down and it would kill them.
You mean the inmates?
Yeah. And I mean, it's pitiful. The little bones for legs. But,
Did they realize they were free? I mean, did
oh,
they?
yes, yes. Oh, man, they would kiss your foot there. I mean, they were just like died and gone to heaven.
But you had to feed them a little bit at a time.
The medics came and took that over. Gradually feed them. But we'd start giving them cheese and all. To kill them all.
Well, at that time, you also expected probably in 1945, middle of the war in Japan wasn't over.
No, it wasn't.
And y'all,
We got all our guns and we were headed for Japan. We were going to come back through the United States, get a furlough, and then go on to Japan. And that I didn't want. And so the Germans had an automatic weapon called a Burt gun. And it was very, very effective. And you're never hit by one bullet. You're always hit by 3 or 4 bullets at the same time. And so I packed out my gun there with that Burt gun and all the ammunition I could get in it. Cosmoline wrapped it up. Somebody was surprised when they opened it up.
but you didn't get it back home?
No,
Did you?
no.
No. But the war ended in August of 45, but you didn't get out until April of 46, and the Fort Bragg.
No, the war ended on 4th. That's when I departed from ETO. It was May of 46.
Oh, it was May of 46. The war was over in May of 45.
45.
In Europe.
Yeah.
But you didn't come home
No.
until later. Y'all were getting ready to go to fight on Japan, and you didn't want to fight.
I didn't want no part of that.
Well, Pete, I don't know whether we can pick these maps up, Tom.
If you hold the map up, I can.
All right, this is the map of the 71st Division, where all they went. Let's see, well, Hobbs uphill, right?
Yeah.
And they came down like this on railroad cars. And this is
Nancy.
North Sea is right there, yeah. And this is where you entered combat.
Yeah.
And you followed. I'll let you go ahead, because you can track it probably better than I can. You cross the river right there.
This other one is, I believe. This is Lahore here, and we stayed there for a couple of weeks or whatever. Then we got on these 48 cars, and it came down here to Nancy, France. And we come back from Mason's there. We went up here by Frankfurt and across the river. And then here at Nuremberg, we were east of Nuremberg, and they were fighting like cats and dogs over there in Nuremberg, having a terrific time out there. But anyway, then we got into Regensburg, and on the crossing there, there was some barges right by where they crossed. And I don't know why I didn't shoot them up. They were full of poison gas.
Are you kidding?
And that would have been horrible.
Oh, yeah.
If we had shot one of those barges there. And I don't know. But then the outfit here, 3rd Battalion, they went on Goring's Castle there. I missed that one. That would have been a good one.
What happened to Goring's Castle?
He had, it looked like the Metropolitan Arts Center with Fort Knox included. But
Some of the guys, they some of that from.
I don't know what to look at that. But then we come on down here, just barreling down the Danube, and they were still fighting up here. And what I think the reason was is to cover territory and block the Germans off from coming down in the Alps here. And then you'd have guerrilla warfare for several years. But we ended up outside of Steyr, Austria, on the Danube. And all the guys on that's the river. You say, I saw and I conquered.
And this is Birch's Gate.
Birch's Gate.
And that's where
Hitler's
Hitler.
house, retreat there.
So you already were east of there.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last war, when it ended, you're all right in that area.
Right.
Yeah, that should be great. Well, Pete, is there anything else you'd like to add? This has been great.
It's one hell of an experience.
Well, that's what we want to put down.
But I would not recommend it.
Yeah, but on behalf of all of us and our people, I want to thank you for what you did, and you made history, and you've recorded it, and now it's for prosperity. Thanks a lot, Pete.